Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Farm Bill Fridays on Facebook Live with the Carolina Farm Stewardship Association. My name is Rochelle Sparko, and I'm the Policy Director here at the Carolina Farm Stewardship Association. And I think today may be the first time that the feed is the right way around, so I'm pretty excited. We have a lot of handouts and exciting things to show you today, so I'm very enthusiastic about the fact that we are not backwards. Some ground rules for this Facebook Live session. Anything I hold up during the course of this, we will post in the comments so that you can see it again later. You don't have to watch the whole video. If you have any comments or questions, please go ahead and post those in the comments. We'll get around to replying to those either in the moment or more likely after this live session is done and I can concentrate on what y'all are writing. And if you see something that you like or you hear something that you want to learn more about, give us a thumbs up so that we know that we should explore that issue further somewhere down the line. All right, so today we are going to be talking about, here we go everybody, first time, 5 things that you need to know about the Farm Bill. And today we'll be talking about the 5 things that you need to know that are in the Horticulture Title. You can see them here. All right. We'll hold that up periodically as we go through the 5 things so you can see it again, and of course it'll be in the comments below as well. So the first thing that you need to know about the Horticulture Title is that the Horticulture Title was first added to the Farm Bill in the 2008 Farm Bill. It was also included in the 2014 Farm Bill, and we're expecting and hoping that it will be included in this year's 2018 Farm Bill as well. If you joined us last week for for Farm Bill Friday on Facebook Live, you learned a little bit about the titles of the Farm Bill. So today I've brought in a prop. This is our title bucket, right? When we have a bunch of issues that kind of go together, we drop them into our title bucket. So we'll be seeing this guy again. What I would like y'all to know is that we're talking about the Horticulture Title today. And we've got this handout. Ooh. So we're down here in the Specialty Crops and Horticulture Title. Right, there's lots of other stuff going on in the Farm Bill. All right, so this is the table of contents from the 2014 Farm Bill. Last week with Farm Bill Friday, you would have learned that these titles have changed over time. Remember, the first Farm Bill back in the 1930s only had 2 titles. This one had 12. All right, so Title 10, the Specialty Crop and Horticulture Title, is the first thing that we're going to be talking about. All right, so what are you going to find in Title 10 of the Farm Bill, the Specialty Crop and Horticulture Title? You're going to find programs that support, not shockingly, specialty crops, local food, and organic food. So what are those? Great question. So specialty crops are defined, and I'm gonna read this for you while holding up our title bucket so that I get it right. Here's our title bucket. Specialty crops are fruits like this adorable kiwi or this adorable, we don't know what it is, but maybe it's an heirloom tomato. They're fruits and vegetables. They're also tree nuts and dried fruit. For instance, these prunes, which I found in our refrigerator. They go in this bucket too. Horticulture and nursery crops, including flowers. So put those in our title bucket too. So now we've got all kinds of delicious things in our bucket. This is a huge segment of U.S. agriculture production. $100 billion a year for at-home consumption is taking place on almost 250,000 farms nationwide. Horticulture, what's that? It is the branch of agriculture concerned with growing plants for food, medicine, and aesthetic purposes. If you want to learn more about specialty crops and horticulture and what exactly those things are as defined by laws and policies, you can go ahead to a NIFA document. NIFA is the National Institute of Food and Agriculture. They have a nice long document that you can dig into to learn more about what is a specialty crop and what is horticulture, and the link to that document is in the comments. All right, so this section or title of the Farm Bill also supports organic production. The United States Department of Agriculture certifies crops and livestock that are grown or raised organically. This is the fastest growing sector of the agriculture market in the United States. It takes a lot to be a certified organic farm, and we're not going to dive too deeply into that today, although we will have some future Farm Bill Friday Facebook Live segments that focus specifically on organic production and what happens with organic production in the Farm Bill. But at a very basic level, it means that you as a farmer keep meticulous records about what you are growing, what you are adding to your soil, and how you're dealing with pests and disease pressure on your farm. And it restricts your ability to use certain pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and fertilizers on your farm. So what about local food? That's also part of the Horticulture and Specialty Crop Title. And there's no real established definition at law for local food. Basically what it means is production where the farmer and the consumer are physically close to each other. So marketing within and production within a geographic proximity or a certain type of supply chain that focuses on making sure that the crop or animal that someone is buying is farm identified, right? You know where it's coming from. This is a small but growing sector of the U.S. agricultural market. There were $6.1 billion in sales in 2012, and those sales went to about 164,000 farms nationally, and this represents about 1.5% of the United States agriculture production. I'm going to hold this back up again. So we're up to number 3 of the 5 things that you need to know about the Horticulture Title. That this title was added after years of advocacy so that specialty crop and organic farmers would have larger roles to play in Farm Bill programs and policies. So assuming it's in there this time, in the 2018 Farm Bill, this will be the 3rd time ever. Why has it only been there for 3 years? It's a great question. So there's some growing power in this sector of agriculture in the United States. There's definitely been some consumer-driven and farmer-driven efforts to make sure that specialty crops, horticultural crops, local food, and organic production had more power and more say in what's happening in the Farm Bill. Right? The Farm Bill is a huge piece of legislation that moves a lot of policy about agriculture and moves around a lot of money within the agricultural sector. And so having a title that is devoted specifically to these types of food products, this type of production, gives more power, more influence, and honestly more benefit to this sector of the agricultural market. One of the reasons that farmers and consumers both were really interested in seeing this title added to the Farm Bill has to do with this chart, which you might remember from our very first week of Farm Bill Friday. So this chart shows where funding goes. In the Farm Bill, we've excluded nutrition because that takes up a huge amount of the Farm Bill money. So this is just the agricultural side, not the nutrition side of the Farm Bill. And you can see the red section here, commodity programs, takes up about a quarter of Farm Bill money that's devoted to agriculture. And commodity programs provide nothing to specialty crop farmers. And so they were interested in getting a little bit more influence in this 4% everything else part of the Farm Bill, given that this sector of the Farm Bill funding is just completely not available to them because they're not growing commodity crops. So thanks so much for joining us for Farm Bill Friday. I'm going to reintroduce myself in case there are some folks who've joined us since we got started. My name again is Rochelle Sparko, and I'm the Policy Director at the Carolina Farm Stewardship Association. And we're trying to do this Farm Bill Friday on Facebook Live every week in the run-up to the passage of the 2018 Farm Bill to make sure that you know bits and pieces that we think are important for you to know in order for you to follow along with that debate. All right, so back to our regularly scheduled program. We're going to talk about our 4th thing that you should know about the Horticulture Title, and this is where it's going to get a little wonky. All right, so the Horticulture Title includes programs like Organic Cost Share, Local Food Promotion Program, the Farmers Market Promotion Program, and the Specialty Crop Block Grant. If you have no idea what these things are, that's okay. We're going to talk a little bit about them and what they do for the farmers that we represent in the Carolinas and for farmers across the country. And you're going to see me looking down a little bit so that I get the details correct for you all. All right, so the Farm Bill is full of programs that support and benefit agriculture. With the addition of the Horticulture Title back a couple of farm bills ago, Congress acknowledged that local organic food production and flour production is an important enough sector of agriculture to receive some concentrated attention. They get an issue bucket or a title bucket. Whereas before, to the extent that there were programs supporting these types of this agricultural sector, they were kind of spread all around throughout our Farm Bill titles. Okay, so what's in this title that makes it my favorite? Well, with less than 0.5% of the mandatory Farm Bill funding that exists, this title hosts programs that are really punching above their weight. Right, this title is responsible for the huge expansion in local food production, marketing, access to local food. It's also responsible for supporting the vast expansion in the organic sector, right, the fastest sector of the agricultural market in the United States. So let's talk about how it's doing that. So our first example from our list that I'm going to talk about is the last one, the Specialty Crop Block Grant. So the Specialty Crop Block Grant allocates federal money to states, and it's distributed to the states to support research, marketing, and food safety training for farmers. Basically, the money is allocated based on how large a percentage of the specialty crops in the United States that particular state grows. So it's really important for farmers to fill out their agriculture census document every 5 years, because that's how we decide as a nation how much money we get to do research and marketing in our own state. So farmers in North Carolina and South Carolina, fill out your ag census every time it comes in the mail. It actually really matters. We're also going to talk for a second about the Farmers Market Promotion Program. Sorry, everything's backwards to me now that it's right side up to you. So what's the Farmers Market Promotion Program? Basically, this is a pot of funding that promotes agritourism, right? Brings people, consumers onto farms. It also supports the development of farmers markets and like the building of farmers markets and the marketing of the existence of farmers markets. It also supports farms that want to start a roadside stand and sell their farm products right by the side of the road. Let's take a look here. We're also going to talk a little bit about organic support. So I've listed organic cost share here, right? So certified organic farmers are able to get a small amount of money to offset the cost of their annual certification through this title. But in addition to that, there are also other organic supports in the horticulture and specialty crop title. For instance, there's money there to help accredit certifiers, right? The people that come onto organic farms to make sure that they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing in order to continue to have or to first obtain an organic certification. That money also helps to enforce organic labeling requirements so that you can be sure that when you buy something that has the USDA organic seal on it, you know what you're getting. It also helps us to keep track of who's certified, right? There's a database online with the USDA at the Ag Marketing Service section of USDA where you can take a look and see a list of every farm that is certified organic in the entire country. You can also see any certified organic handler, right? So for instance, Eastern Carolina Organics, a distribution company that's based in Durham, North Carolina, is on that list. So those are some examples of the programs that help CFSA member farmers to get really good information about how to grow the crops that they're growing, right? It pays for some research through that Specialty Crop Block Grant program. It also makes sure that they can promote and sell what they're growing so well by supporting the development of farmers markets, providing them with marketing dollars, and helping to build roadside stand for farms that can grow and sell their own from where they're located. And it also ensures that the number of United States-based farmers that are growing organic keeps going up so that we can try to meet demand in the United States by decreasing our reliance on foreign imports of organic food. The last thing that we want to talk about today, the fifth thing that you need to know about the horticulture title, is we need your help if we want to improve and expand what's in the horticulture title. So we have been talking about the fact that the Farm Bill is coming any day now. This is our third week. We are hearing credible rumors now that it will be a draft of the Farm Bill will be introduced. The chair's Mark, the chair of the House Agriculture Committee, will probably be introducing his bill early next week. We're kind of expecting Monday or Tuesday because I'll be on vacation. So of course it's going to happen while I'm not here. And so it's time for us to prepare to make some phone calls to advocate for the kinds of programs that make it possible for local organic farms to really thrive and do better and reach more people. So one way that we would like to encourage you to do that is to have you sign up for CFSA's Action Alerts. You can do it by going to this website, bit.ly/AXNALERTS. Sounds like Action Alerts, but with an X. The link is also posted in the comments below. And so when the Farm Bill comes out, whether it's early next week or sometime next month, you'll hear from us when there's actually something that we need you to do to support the farmers that are CFSA members, the local organic farms in the Carolinas. So please do sign up for that. Check the federal issues box if you're only interested in receiving updates about Farm Bill related stuff. You don't have to check the North or South Carolina boxes, and we'll keep you up to date as the Farm Bill moves along, and there are people that you should be calling to make sure that the farms in your area continue to thrive. Thanks so much for joining us for this week's Farm Bill Friday on Facebook Live. We'll be back next week with 5 more things that we think that you need to know about the Farm Bill, and there's a chance we'll actually be talking about the draft of the Farm Bill, the chairman's mark. So thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.